Well, Utah Valley University draping the American flag at the site where conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Meanwhile, thousands across the country are also honoring his life and mourning the sudden loss. The man accused of killing Kirk, Tyler Robinson, has his first court appearance today, where he's expected to be formally charged with murder. And since the conservative political activist deaths, House Speaker Mike Johnson says there's a call to enhance security measures for lawmakers over safety concerns. We welcome now Republican Representative Jeff Crank of Colorado. Representative, wonderful to have you on this morning. I wanted to start off with Colorado Public Radio noting that you had posted this about Charlie Kirk, a quote, "I had the honor of serving on the Air Force Academy Board of Visitors with Charlie. He was a compassionate warrior for the conservative movement. He will be missed." What was your firsthand experience with him? And of course, your reaction then to last week's events?
Well, thank you, Kelly. I did serve with Charlie Kirk very briefly on the U.S. Air Force Academy Board of Visitors. But in addition to that, I'd met Charlie and knew him from several events that I had done around the country. And, he was a warrior. He was a warrior. He loved America. He loved God. And he loved the values of free speech. And, that's why I really look at this attack on Charlie Kirk. And I've tried to process the last few days why people have reacted the way they have. And we've seen this overwhelming, support really for the family of Charlie Kirk and just shock at what happened. And I think the reality is that the attack on Charlie Kirk was an attack on America. It was an attack on the values that America holds dear, an attack on the belief that we can work together, that we can disagree with one another, but that we can, at the end of the day, we're still Americans.
Yeah, and then we can talk out our differences. In the aftermath of this shooting, Charlie Kirk, he was slated to speak in your state on Thursday at an event where you were slated to speak as well. I'm curious, what ended up happening there? What was the message? I know it went on as planned, not fully as planned, though.
Yeah, it did. I had to do a video message for that event at the end of the day, just because of schedule. But it went on, and obviously very somber. Freedom was attacked. And so there was a very somber, solemn kind of discussion about Charlie and the values that he held. But, this is just something that America has to do. We have to fight through this. We're Americans. We have to understand that we can't give in. We can't cower to people who want to silence debate and discussion, honest debate and discussion in America. And it's our patriotic duty to all of those who love and hold those values dear to stand up and defend them and to be, look, I spent 14 years on the radio. I can't think of one time where I demonized someone or tried to incite that kind of hatred for another person. I didn't do that. That's the values that we ought to hold dear as Americans. We ought to have that great debate without trying to incite people to violence.
Well, and this, instilled a lot of fear in public officials like yourself, also, those in the limelight. There's clearly a healing that needs to happen now. You're a state leader. What do you believe that process looks like? How will you be honoring your friend's memory moving forward? And do you have any personal concerns as you share this message broadly?
Well, first of all, we have to do, as lawmakers, we have to do our job. I mean, again, we were elected to do this, and just like soldiers who go defend America abroad and fight for our values abroad, we have to fight for those values here. And it's not just lawmakers, it's every American who believes in the bedrock of this American principle that we can disagree without being violent or hateful to one another. And so we have to reach out, and I do. I talk to Democrats all the time. I may disagree with them on policy, but I have friends who I break bread with, who I talk with, who are Democrats. Had dinner with a Democrat friend last night. So we just have to continue to build those bridges, and we all have an obligation to condemn this violence. And when it happens on our side, and I had a terrible shooting in my district many years ago, where a Planned Parenthood facility was shot up by a crazy person on the left. And I condemned that violence, and I condemned the political philosophy behind it. But you know what? The left has to do that too. And so we need leaders right now to step up and say that this is wrong, that what happened to Charlie Kirk is wrong and it cannot be tolerated.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.